Welcome to R Rules Restoration. Today I got a 1983 Fang. I'm going to try to get two decent Fangs out of this lot here. What I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these Fangs. Two broken landing gears I'm going to repair. I got 8 of the missiles. This one's cracked in the front. I'm going to repair that. One of the bombs. It's got half of the original roll cage, and then I went out and bought a repro roll cage, and I bought a repo rotor strut or whatever that is. So I'm going to paint this to match. First, these are the two I'm going to use right here. They're the two best looking ones out of the bunch. They both have their joysticks. So to get the landing gear off, it's fairly simple. I went ahead and took off the broken landing gear. This is what's remaining of this landing gear. So if you look at one of these landing gear, you have tabs that push back this way. So you got a big flat one there, and you got two small ones right there. So all you got to do is get the screwdriver back behind here, small screwdriver, push forward a little bit, push forward a little bit, take your thumb, put it on there, and lift it up, and lift it up, get behind it again, push forward again, slide it forward, slides right out. So I'm going to keep this piece, you never know when I might need it. So I'm going to set this one to a side. So these are the two I'm going to use. So one of these rotors, it's broke here. I'm going to fix that. Extend it out. I got to get one more blade. I only got 3 blades. I'm going to extend this one out. But both of these, I'm going to split the engines down the back. One of them I'm going to split it so I could drop the repro one in. And one of them I'm going to split it so I can do a pin repair on the other one. So I think this is going to be the pin repair one. Alright, I only got an X-Acto knife, so I'm going to take that X-Acto and work it up the seam. Same thing for the bottom, just getting that groove, maybe. I'm going to try to get my screwdriver in there. Getting it in and twisting. You see it's kind of opening it up a little bit. It's a brutal way of doing it, but I don't know how else you would get the repro in there without splitting it. Once you initially snap it open, it can be repaired, so you're trying to do minimal damage while you do that. Take a bigger screwdriver, put some pressure on it. Get back in the groove. There we go, starting to crack. Getting that glue. Once I get it in there, then I can wedge. Just initially getting it in. I don't know how I ended up with this many of them, but all these lots I picked up seem to have a Fang or two in there. Been picking up lots after lots. I've got a lot more projects I haven't even showed you guys what's coming. Cracked the top, I haven't cracked the bottom yet. There we go. Once you get in here, put a screwdriver down in there, leave that open, start working my way up to front. Just got to get it split right down here. Take the X-Acto. Careful not to cut yourself. Trying to split it down the other side. There we go. And it should be enough to get that tip out. Got it opened up. Kick this over, get it out of that channel. And there we go, it's out. That'll all snap back together. I need this piece, I'm going to drill into that, and I'm going to reattach it to this rotor blade here. Now this isn't the one I'm using, but I just wanted to use it on a different one. Reattach that, use a Lego rod or something of that nature. So let me grab one of the ones I'm actually going to use. We'll go from there. So this is the one I'm going to use for the broken rotor blade. Where it got off, there it is. This is the one I'm using for this. So I'm going to use the X-Acto. Work my way down the seam. Just take my time. And there we go. So got it out. What I'm going to use that pin there. Going to drill a hole there. Drill a hole in the rotor blade. I got my drill bit here. There's already somebody either tried to put a pin in there or that was in factory. Get in there. Try not to crack it out. Should be enough to get a pin in it, so let me go get my Lego. Alright, so I got that drilled out. I got a Lego antenna I shoved down in there. There's the part that's going on it. Push it all the way in. That matches real nice. Without glue it'll hold, but I'm going to glue it anyways. I glued this end in. Now I'm going to have to address this broken part and duplicate that. So off of this Repro one, I can get an idea how much length I need. So I'll go ahead and cut that. Might have to double up some I might have to double up some styrene to thicken it up, and then put a little nub right there, so I can put that rotor blade on. All right, we got some styrene. It's pretty much the same thickness. It might be a little bit thinner, but it really ain't gonna make that big of a deal. I'll just build that up a little bit more. So what I need to do is trace the size of this on one of these blades. I'm gonna make it a little bigger than what I need. Pieces out of the way. And I'm going to have to duplicate that on a thinner sheet. It's not thick enough. these together, and I'll sand it all down, make it smooth. When got a bigger file, needle files are fun in the games and all that, but this definitely speeds up the process if you got one. It's going to make everything smooth. Not taking much off, just smoothing everything up. So now, try a blade on it. Fits, it's very snug. I might take it down a little bit more. I'm going to paint it to match it too, so it'll be hard to tell. Just going to take it down just a little bit. Okay, set that to the side. So now, I need to find the brake. Where's that at? Cut across. Just keep taking a little bit off at a time until I match it by eyeball. A little less of an angle. Live with that right there. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that with some Cement Deluxe. And styrene works really well with this. We'll see how this blade does. Already sticking, that's a good sign. And I'm going to let that sit and dry before I mess with anything else. I'm going to come back and go across the gap there to really melt it down in there. But that should be a good fix for this. Alright, let that sit up for about half an hour or so. I just got to match this little nub right here. So it's going to be right in this area here. Make a little score mark so I know where to put it. And I had some scrap from cutting this down. This piece right here will make a perfect piece. Go ahead and put some Cement Deluxe on that. Right on that score line. Once it gets up there, it'll be fine. Match it again. and let that set up. So I'll let that fully set up. I might have to come in and file the edges down a little bit. The repro isn't near the nub that the original one had. So when I match it, I try to match it more like the original. Once the blades go on, they should stay on. I'm not going to try it till this dries. Next, I'm going to color match that paint. Then I will glue this back onto the shaft, match the original breakup, and we'll have a fully functioning rotor. So as I let this fully dry, I definitely have something else I can do. So these landing gear, I'm going to go ahead and reattach. We have a brake somewhere here, brake here, and a brake there. So I'm going to go ahead and cement deluxe them back together. And on this one, I'm going to use a super glue with baking soda trick to really strengthen that up. I don't want those to separate as they dry, so I'm going to push them up a little bit, hold their shape, let them dry. This one's in much worse shape, it's missing all the pieces, so I'll go ahead and prep that one as well. That way everything can dry together. So kind of got sidetracked. Let this sit a couple days. Life happens. But I'm going to go ahead and beef this up with some baking soda, super glue. Run that on the seams where they broke. And sprinkle some baking soda on it. Take off the excess, come from the other side. Sprinkle some more on. And that sets that stuff up like concrete almost. Sets that super glue off almost immediately. Hold that glue because that was pretty broken. Shake it off. What I'll do is I'll come back and I'll touch that up with black paint. Do the other one. Shake it off. Other side. Set that to the side. And that helps fill any of the gaps, strengthen it up, sets that glue immediately, sets it hard. Instead of letting it get runny or whatever, it kind of beefed it up. I'll touch that up with some black paint. Alright, so off camera, I went ahead and color matched the paint. This is the broken side. Looks pretty close. Color matched the roll cage to the broken one I had. Give it a coat of paint. I might hit that one with a second, a little bit brighter red, but all in all, I'm pretty happy with that. Or that was the broken one, my bad. So there's the color match on the brake. Little nub. I'm gonna go ahead and glue this back together. Little dab of glue down on the hole. Slide that on. Match up where the brake was. Let that sit up. So on the Repro one, I'm going to go ahead and put that in. There it goes. Take the screwdriver out. Put it back together. I might get some plastic weld and some clamps. Plastic weld that back together if I can't get it to seat all the way. So on this one I can go ahead and put one of these two landing gears back on. So they just slide in from here. I'm not going to put any pressure on the skids. Pull it back. Get one of the blades. Ease it on, I don't want to break it. There's one. Alright, got the other blade. Picking it up off the landing gear. Just gotta wiggle it up and over. Alright, got that on. So there's one. Besides the touch up of the paint, I have the bombs and whatnot. I'm going to put that on there after I touch that paint up. I'm going to go ahead and put the other one together. Just take the broken blade here, or the one I repaired. It's the original one. Push this apart. Break it down in the channel where it goes. There we go. Get these out. That one snapped together. Put it in. I'm going to do all the pressure from the unbroken part. Pull back. Like I said, this one snapped together. This one's coming together a little bit, but it's not as good. So I'm going to go ahead and get the black paint, and I'll touch up these skids, get the missiles on there, and I should have two fully functionable fangs. First I got to put this, I'm going to put the broken roll cage on this one. It's pretty easy with half one. It's not so easy with the other one. Alright, when you got my paintbrush, black paint, little dab. Touch up where I put the baking soda fix. Clean it up a little bit. So there's that one. Let that dry. So I finished these up off camera, cleaned them up with some baby oil, put the missiles, put the bomb on. Gotta go to that toy store and get the other rotor blade, slide that on here. It won't be perfect, but the fact that I even got these back from where they were, pretty happy. That roll cage is a piece of crap. Watch out when you buy repro. Half the reason I didn't finish it up, I was putting it on. It snapped out a little bit, had to glue it. If you're going to buy one, buy the one from Europe. I actually got one on my main one. So the one I actually have on display, these I'm going to get rid of. I'll sell them price oriented for being repaired. That roll cage came from Europe. It was already painted red. Fit in there much better. But yeah, that's what I have on display. But all in all, very happy with repairs. Somebody will get some good use out of these on display. Pretty happy with that repair. This took way longer than, heck, I could build a Defiant in the time it took to fix these two. This was one step forward, 4 or 5 steps back, it seemed like. It was a pain in the butt. Such a delicate vehicle. But yep, thanks for watching. More videos to come. Maybe I won't be so busy this week and get some more out.